obviously, we're super excited and, ready to go out there, get prepared right now, and I'm ready to go be ordering.
Questions?
I know you talked about going to sleep each night for the Sun Belt Championship.
Yeah.
Did you ever go to sleep thinking about what it would be like hearing you guys' name called?
Try to be where our feet is at, try to take it one game at a time. But, right after that, we were having talks about, all right, we got our job done. Now let's see where it goes from there. And, the guys got together yesterday, watched the game and all that stuff. It was a nail biter, as y'all know, but, that did good for us. And we went in there, celebrated with the pizza party today, so we're feeling good.
What were your emotions watching that game last night?
Man, it was like I'm playing. Like, it was like I'm playing, like, out there, like, on the team with them. So it was weird, really rooting for another team like that, knowing that, you have your team that you support for. You don't really support other college teams like that. Especially, maybe guys like your brothers or your old teammates and stuff, but I had no relation to that team. So it was weird. It was different.
What was it like watching that interception to end it in overtime? Was it kind of a blackout moment, or do you remember what you were thinking?
Just guys celebrating, just yelling a whole lot of loudness. It's unreal, but these special moments are where the memories are made.
And then to transition it into today with the moment that you have with your guys, as you see the name flash up on the screen, What is that moment like as you start throwing the streamers too?
Just to be there with some of the guys I've been here with for 4 years, Zoe, JT, Big Joe, Carter Sweezy, it felt really good to be able to celebrate, see smiles on those guys' faces, all the work that we've put in and the doubts that the outsiders have had, and, the belief that we had with ourselves is just, there's no power greater than it.
With those guys that have been here all 4 years with you, how much of a reflection period is it when you are standing in this moment knowing what you guys are about to do in 2 weeks?
You take the time to reflect, obviously, and you're grateful, but, like I said, you got to really be where your feet at. So now that we have a new mission, we got to start prepping for that. So, it'll be fun today to go out and celebrate or whatever with the guys, have a good time in the locker room. I can hear them as soon as we announce, start playing the music in the locker room. But, we got business to take care of, so you can't smile too much.
Obviously, there's more to be written towards the story, but you've been a part of a different staff. What can you kind of have to say a little bit in hindsight that what Coach Chesney has done for this program in such a short time?
From the moment that he came in, he's been vulnerable and open with us, and he wanted to keep it a player-led team. There's already a culture established here at James Madison as a winning football program, and, he wanted to just be able to advance that, and he does that through us. He asks constantly, what can he do to change and help better the program, and whatever he says he's going to do, he always does it, and that's one thing I really appreciate about him. He's always been a man of his word since I've met him. He put me in his office for a meeting when I first met him and told me, asked me about any changes that I wanted to make or anything that he think that he could do, and everything that I've ever told him, he's went and done action towards it. So I appreciate him for that.
And since he puts so much onus on you guys and your ability to lead the team as a more player-led perspective, what can you say about your team's ability to stay focused throughout this win streak?
Throughout the whole season, even before the season, we've been talking about there's going to be a whole lot of noise from the outside, and the expectations that we have for ourselves internally are greater than those that y'all have for us. So, just being together, and we talk about ROV, we only supposed to have, conversations and really take into account what people are saying if they're real open or vulnerable with you. So, a whole lot of people, media, social media, other players, parents, family even, don't really understand or know what's going on with this group. Only the people in this building really know what we got going and where we're going to. So as far as, who you take noise from, it wants to be somebody who's that ROV, real open and vulnerable.
Is there anything you've noticed from Oregon? I don't know if you've watched a ton of Oregon this year, but do you know anything about them in terms of the offensive side of the ball?
Oregon in general, they always like fast football players, just from growing up watching them, But, West Coast style offense, for sure they're trying to get the ball to the tight end, good players, talent everywhere. It's talent everywhere, everybody's who's in this playoff. So it's really about who just wants it more. You got to go out and be harder.
Amazing, very excited, grateful for the opportunity to even be mentioned with a bunch of great teams around the country. So excited for it, but ready to get to work.
Questions?
What would you tell the freshman year version of you that stepped onto campus here that, hey, senior year, you're going to go through a coaching change in between now and then, but you're going to make the college football playoff?
Yeah, buckle up and mature. It's been a long ride for me and a lot of other people that have stayed through the coaching changes. Being at JMU for 4 years, it's gone by probably way too quick for me. But it's been fun, and I definitely think I should have handled just certain things better when I was coming in, but I was clueless and young, but just very grateful to be in the position I am now.
You guys obviously did what you needed to do on Friday to put yourself in this position, and then kind of had to sit and wait last night. What was the stress level like watching that game?
I wasn't very stressed. It was a good football game to watch, honestly. So, I was flipping back from that and, Ohio State and Indiana. So, definitely cheered on Duke a little bit more than the other team. But, no, it was a good game to watch. And, things worked out in our favor. So now it's time to go prove what we can do.
There's always a lot of outside talk, especially when you have two G5 programs in. What would your response be about why this team is deserving to be in this position right now?
Yeah, I think what we've done all year. Coming out and you start 1-1 on the year, it's kind of a rocky little start. So, and then going from there and winning 11 straight. So, it kind of just shows what type of football team we are and how many different types of wins we've had. Blowouts, close games, low scoring, high scoring. It just shows that we can win in all types of facets. So, I think it's good for us. Good for Tulane. To get the G5 programs out there, but we're ready just to prove what we can do.
Obviously, there were a lot of plays mixed into that Louisville game that resembles the team it is now, especially on the defensive side of the ball. But in hindsight, how beneficial maybe was that loss, do you think, for your team?
It was very big for us. We sat back and reflected on that game for a while. So I think that loss is very helpful for us. But, even going through games like Marshall and Washington State and just feeling a tougher opponent like that is just very beneficial for us and coming out on top through those close games. So, it's been a tough year for us, with the competition level that we've been playing. So I think it's a good opportunity to go play another tough team.
Coach always talks about getting better, day by day, week by week. How much better do you think this team is now versus that Louisville game?
Yeah, it's every single week we seem to get better throughout games, throughout practice, throughout just meetings and answering questions. So when you're able to get better throughout the course of a game and shut people out in the second half like our defense tends to do, it's just amazing to see. And going back to last year when we couldn't finish games towards the end of the season, it just shows the type of preparation and intentionality we have through everything that we're doing throughout the week. So yeah, it's good.
For you personally to spend all 4 years with JMU and go through a lot of change 2 seasons ago, what have these last 3 days been for you? How surreal have they been for you?
It's been very special. I'm grateful and blessed to be in the position I am today. I can't give enough thanks to Coach Chesney and his whole staff that came in here to make this place even more special than what it was. And JMU as a community and as a fan base is one of the best in the country, I feel like, and not just on the G5 level, but it's been special for this place and everything that the fans, the community does for us. So it's good that we can give back a little bit.
How nice was it to have that moment this morning with the guys that have been here all 4 years so far?
Yeah, it's awesome. So special, so special. I texted Trent after the game, it's just crazy to see, how far we've come. I was a smaller freshman and he was a little bit, bigger. But yeah, it's just crazy to see the changes that have happened throughout the 4 years.
With the nature of Oregon's one loss, you can hit up any of your old friends, see if there's any tells on Oregon at all, maybe Fisher.
I will, I don't know. Definitely going to watch that game, see what Aiden has to say, go from there.
What was it like throwing some streamers? I know you guys usually aren't the ones throwing the streamers, but you got your chance today.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's a fun feeling, honestly. Zoe was, out there chucking it at people. But, yeah, it was definitely fun, and I wish I got to experience a JMU game for myself. So.
Were you able to intercept one of those streamers?
I actually was, yeah. I caught it with my right hand, too.